think probably what it takes to be successful is tenacity. I think it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of drive. I think that you have to be someone that always gets up the next day and says, well, I'm going to go back at it again, and you try to make sure that you are out there marketing, out there calling on your clients, out there visiting your nurses, calling your nurses whenever they have had a baby, call them when you know their mother's sick, call them whenever you know that they've had a graduation in their family. Whatever the circumstance is, you've got to be out there, and you've got to be 100%. You've got to just do what you have to do to keep the business rolling. You have to wear whatever hat you have to wear that day. Most of our nurses tell me that I'm the best boss they ever had. And I would say that probably 75% of our nurses all come back and work for me after they leave at one point. And I always tell everybody that the door swings both ways, that, if you leave me, you can always come back. So, don't feel bad, because I always tell everybody that you have to do what's best for your family. I always do what's best for my family, and I expect you to do what's best for your family. So if you have to leave us and go hire on somewhere, I understand that, but then come back and work the weekends with us, or come back and work, on your days off or whatever. And they do. They always come back to us. So we've been very successful with that approach.
It takes a positive attitude. You have to go with the flow, because every day is different. So if you can, handle things as they come and take care of them one step at a time, that's helpful.
Well, an understanding that what we do isn't easy. There's not a magic pill or any kind of magic formula on how to find a nurse tomorrow for a hospital. A lot of the phone calls I receive are asking questions like that, looking for a software program, a list, a central area where we can go to find these people who are readily available. The challenge is that, we do have customers who think that we have a bullpen with nurses ready to be deployed at any given moment, and that's not always the case. If we don't have work at a given time, then they go elsewhere, and if we have a lot of jobs and no nurses, then our customers are going to go elsewhere as well. So timing is always a challenge. It's not just a challenge for us, it's a challenge for our competition too. But the fact is, to be successful, you just have to keep generating new opportunities in both areas, on recruitment and in customers. And at some point, you're finally going to get a match. And once you get that match, you'll start getting more frequently. You're always going to fail. And you have to expect that and understand that the first order you get, you might not be able to find anybody for it. And you might not be able to find a job for the first nurse you bring in. And you have to just keep churning away on both sides of it, recruitment and marketing, until you finally get a match.
I think to be successful, you need to be relationship driven. That is the number one thing. And making as many relationships as possible. Whether that's with the nurses or the healthcare professionals that you're recruiting for, and then on the client side, and making the connection. The number one thing and the number one activity that one needs to be engaged in is making presentations and getting employers to meet people who have either just a couple shifts a week available, or they're looking for a full-time job, and doing that as many times as possible. And so if there is going to be a challenge, you don't want to be shy, for example. This is for someone, in my opinion, that loves to talk to people and doesn't mind meeting a lot of different people and never meets a stranger, essentially. As long as you can do that and you're persistent and driven, and that's just in any business, then you'll be successful for sure.